Massive sets, for which even wide shots aren't wide enough. Palatial corridors, meticulously positioned and choreographed characters, verbose narrative, drenched in the soil of Indian culture. All this juggling between those signature fade-ins and fade-outs, and of course, loads and loads of opulence. Sanjay Leela Bhansali has surely found the sweet spot for the viewers in the span of his filmography. But can हीरा मंडी prove to be a masterstroke? Let's find out. और अगर आप ये रिव्यू हिंदी में देखना चाहते हैं तो डिस्क्रिप्शन में दिए गए लिंक पर क्लिक करें. Let's quickly dive into the merits first. The visuals. As we know by now, SLB doesn't create movie frames, he paints canvases. Aesthetics is one department where हीरा मंडी excels in successfully transporting us in the pre-independence era, meticulously recreating those lavish and luxurious sets depicting the courtesan's quarters, the streets of हीरा मंडी where life teems, the portrayal. What I loved about हीरा मंडी is that the intricate jewelry, traditional hairstyles and impressive costumes, all these work as a mere veil because lying beneath are stories and ambitions. The show tries to explore the human side of these women. They are not simply portrayed as objects of desire. The performances. Manisha Koirala steals the show. Hers is a performance that will not just be remembered but celebrated in Indian cinema. The posture, voice and aura that she lends to Malika Jaan is no easy job and Manisha excels. On number 2 is Aditi Rao Hedri as Bippo Jaan. Aditi's big expressive eyes are put to use by Bhansali in the best possible manner. On number 3 is Sonakshi Sinha as Rehana and Faridan. Finally, this actor is picking up roles that match her talent and justify her acting prowess. The sheer menace that she is introduced to in the show will give you jolt. Sanjeeda Sheikh as Wahidan is fabulous and well cast. Let's talk about some demerits, and there are plenty. The grandeur conquers, but the storytelling falters. This show is set in the 1940s, and like any other Indian show set in this time, it is bound to tell those freedom stories and struggle stories about freedom and independence and all that. But for हीरा मंडी, the freedom struggle narrative works as its biggest obstacle. The scenes where the rebellion takes place and rebels are on the move are scenes that are extremely slow-paced, half-baked and written inadequately. The final 2 episodes didn't belong to the world of हीरा मंडी. I just feel they are a different entity altogether that should be kept reserved for a different series. But yeah, it's out now, what can we do? Terrible character arcs. The character arcs can also be ranked in order. On number 1 is Beat Me Later. It's Tazdar. Yes, hear me out first. This is one such character that annoys you the most in this show. His constant on and off equation with himself and Aurangzeb is something that annoys you because he is not a very layered character. He's not been written like that, and on top of it, he is just another toxic guy wrapped in a probably good-looking gift wrap. On number 2 is Malika Jaan. Sadly, the Jaan of this show transpires into being someone else in the latter episodes. The greed, ego, controlling nature, all this goes away and benevolence kicks in. And that is not the character you signed up for in that pilot episode. Faridan's change of heart is unsightly and a prime example of how not to write character arcs. This is also a prime example that shows you how characters are flipped upside down just to suit the convenience of the narrative. And is it only me who felt that Iqbal was up to something, but then he's both a character and an opportunity missed? Okay, if there are good performances, then there are also performances that annoy you, and on top of it, it is Sharmin Sehgal as Aurangzeb. Sharmin has only two fixed, or I would say a fixed facial expressions that she has used in the entirety of this whole web series. She had a really good part to play that demanded her to be on her toes, but she fails to impress. It's good to see Fardeen on screen after a very long time, but he has got nothing to do. I mean, and same goes for Shekhar Suman. Why do you cast prominent actors in roles that are not meatier enough? I feel that Heera Mandi is not just a concoction of all SLP films, but also some other popular films and infamous films, I would say. For instance, The Strict Mother shows resemblance to Dhankor from Goliyon Ki Ras Leela, Ram Leela, remember? The climax is inspired, heavily inspired from Padmavat, inspired being a gentle connotation here. In some sequences, the show also tries to become Begum Jaan, and just to tell you, Begum Jaan wasn't that superior of a film. I can watch a season 2 where the animosity between Faridan and Malika Jaan grows even more. Of course, the freedom fighting narrative is sluggish, but having said that, why I want to recommend Heera Mandi to you is because of its spectacular visuals, some great acting performances, especially by Manisha Koirala and Sonakshi Sinha. Go watch it, it's SLB's work. You have to watch it, you got to watch it. Heera Mandi is streaming on Netflix. My name is Navjot. I will see you next time. Goodbye.